Welcome to Yoga for Health, Happiness and Liberation. Before we start, I like to chant the mantra which brings close to our Guru, and this Shanti mantra, the mantra for peace, will bring peace in your heart and in your family and in this society. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshemamritat. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityor Mukshemamritat. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Naramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kachit Dukha Bhag Bhave. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya. Om Purnamadha Purnamidham Purna Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tassat. Today's topic is reincarnation or karma, which I talked about last week, and I like to continue. The first thing I like to mention, the main thought of this talk is to witness your dance, accept karma, and do our dharma. And let me explain. This whole universe is God's dance, the whole thing together. And as we, part of God, desire to be separated and come on this earth. And when we do come on this earth, we like it here. And that desire brings us come back here again and again. And there is no freedom until we desire not to come back. Now some people say, I don't want to come back. But they desire, then they come back. So first thing is, why do we come back? Some people don't believe that you come back. Or they believe that this is a life, you come this first time, when you die, go to heaven and live with God forever. And if you did sin, then you go in hell, in the ground, and burn forever. Those who believe in reincarnation philosophy, the karma philosophy, they believe that we have been here before, many, many times. And we will come back unless and until we prepare ourselves and qualified ourselves to reach the liberation. Liberation means reaching to God. Then God will allow you to come back. Then you do not come back. The idea is you come back. Again, suppose if you do not desire to come back, but then you have to come back because you have to pay your karmic debt. You have created situation before that you have to come back. Then accepting the karma. Now what that means? And this formula which I am presenting to you really offers great peace and will bring back to your true nature happiness and blissful feeling. The first thing, you have to accept the karma. Let me explain what that means. Something we do and we expect certain things to happen. And when time comes, when you take the action, that certain thing does not happen. Our goal has not been met. Then we get very angry. Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita says, you have right to take the action, but you have no right for the fruit of action. Whatever you have done, you should get what you deserve at that moment. And the idea is, if I can put it this way, that in the past, let's say last 10 years, you put down $10,000 in the bank and you have $5,000 debt. Suppose if you put the money in the bank, you say, well, I have earned this $200 in the bank. Then you expect 10,000 plus additional 200 or 1,000 money you put in. You should say they should add in the money you already have. But you do not know that you have debt. Suppose if you forget that you have $5,000 debt, and the bank says, we're going to deduct these $200. That's the debt you have to pay. And you get angry. You say, I put down $200. How come it is not added in my savings? That debt is karmic debt we have collected from the past lives. Some people say, no, I don't believe in the past lives. Fine. But do you get always, suppose you take an action, something has to happen, does it happen? It does not happen, right? Then why it didn't happen? Maybe God didn't want that action, the fruit of that action, He did not want to give it to you. How about this another case? For out of blue, there is no reason or anything, suddenly the tree falls on your house and breaks a part of your house. Why did that happen? It just happened. And it happened second time, let's say, and didn't happen anything to your neighbor. Why it happens to you? Why? There is a book written, why bad thing happens to the good people. Is God unjust that those things happen? No, God is not unjust. These things is called karmic debt we have to pay. Now what will bring back to us if we have more karmic debt to pay? Then when we die, God will say, you have not finished your karma. You have to go back. Some people say that all your sins can be forgiven if you do these or these or these. Yes, sins can be forgiven only, and how they can be forgiven. And I made a list here, which Yoga says, you have to be good and do good. Not only that, you have to do dharmic action. In other words, if you bring kids in this world, you have to take care of them. Now if you don't take care of them, that's a sin itself. And you have to pay for those. So we are responsible of every action we take. Some people say, no, you're not responsible. You can do anything you want. And then he said, well, how about you do something wrong? Suppose somebody steals something. Is he forgiven? Just because he said, well, I will take a bath in Ganges, so all my sins are forgiven. Or I will chant such and such name, I'll be forgiven. All those sins are forgiven just because you say, please forgive me. Maybe it can. But Yoga says, no, it will not be forgiven. You have to deserve. You have to do counter good. You have to help somebody beyond your normal duties. And then that's called repentance. You have to do that. Again, non-violence is one way to eliminate negative karmas, and also to meditation, prayers, be God conscious and be good. And our Guru says, Swami Shivana, be good, do good. Be dharmic. Dharmic means dutiful. You are supposed to do certain things. Now, when people do not believe in karma, do not accept the karma, then they get very angry. And they cannot accept. Now, in March 1984, my wife died. Our karma was finished. She had to die. She died. She died in her sleep, and I was very unhappy. But at the same time, I accepted my karmic thing, karmic predicament. That's a karmic predicament. And if you don't accept it, you can get angry at God. You can get very angry. And you say, God, you're not fair to me. How come such and such wife is living? He's a terrible guy. Or whatever you want to say. Why it happened to you? Why it happened to me? So, when your karma is finished, your relationship also sometime finished. So accept the karmic thing. Accept karma. And do your dharma. You must take the right action. And don't worry about the results. God gives you what we deserve. But sometimes we say, but I don't deserve that. At that time, the rule is, thou shalt not judge. Don't judge that. Only God decides what we should be getting. Our is to take right action. Take the right action. In these wonderful holidays, what do we have to do? A lot of people expect so much, and then they don't get those things they expect, and they are very angry. And they miss out this beautiful moment today, this moment. So, we are given this opportunity to be on this earth, and at this time when you are living, that is a grace from God as the greatest opportunity to serve and love and to burn those negative karmas. And the objective of life should be to achieve freedom. And how can we achieve freedom? Through detachment. So this is a formula to be very happy and transcendental. Witness your life, witness your this whole drama, the dance, your life, all things go on as an observer. Accept your karma. Whatever has happened, has happened. Forget it, forgive, and forget, and leave this moment. Forget the dead moments of yesterday. Forget about the future. This is the most important moment is now. And be thankful and enjoy this moment. That's what yoga says. Accept the karma and take the action, the right action, the dharmic action, the action which you should take, regardless of the fruits which but that's the right action. You take the right action and then receive whatever God gives you. That's the will of God. Accept the will of God. And God is very fair, and we get whatever we deserve. Now some people say, do some people deserve so much pain, suffering? Well, we should not judge anything, just help them so they can come out. But if you cannot accept your position, then suffering is even greater in your mind, in your subconscious level, and you will be torn into pieces. you cannot enjoy life. You cannot have the blissful feeling. And if you want to be happy, you have to accept your position. That's called karmic predicament. Whatever, every action, good action, has good results. The bad action has bad results. Maybe not tomorrow, but maybe in future. So today we get the grace and the predicament. But God is so blissful. We have a friend, Mr. A.B. Patel. He says God is so graceful that He gives you good time and then a little bit bad in the middle, so you can handle it, and then good time for a while, and then as long as we are alive, those things will continue, and everything ends when we die, right? So don't worry about these things. So all the predicament, all the problems are the grace of God that we can burn those bad karma. And in Christianity, they said that is the cross you have to carry. Now that is exactly the same idea, that you have to burn your karma. Certain times we have to carry our cross. That same idea. Now some people say we have certain bad thoughts. Why do we have bad thoughts? You say, well, there is a devil standing there giving you bad thoughts. The yoga believes in, no, we have created our own thoughts in the past. They haunt you back. They come haunt you. There is no hell. This is right here. A lot of people, right here, they suffer. More than even they should. Because they cannot accept karma. So, let us understand that we have been here in this universe and we might come back. But our objective should be to come out from this circle of life and death and achieve liberation. But there is inner freedom which we should try to get. Inner freedom. There is a freedom right now. Inner freedom. And then there is freedom after you die, that you do not have to come back. And you have to prepare yourself. So yoga is a method of preparing ourselves. So when we die, we do not have to come back. Now if you want to come back, then you say, well, I will come back. It's fine. But if you do not want to come back and then you are thrown back, that's not freedom. You are thrown into. And why do we come back? Because we desire to come back. Even though we say we don't want to come back. But there is so much attachment that we are thrown into again. Because one yogi says, God is so blissful, whatever you ask, God will give it to you. And you just repeat few times, and it will happen to you, because God is so blissful. Now the second thought is sanskar. What this sanskar means? That when we die, our soul lives. But it lives with some memories of this life and the lives before. So when it comes back again, now first thing, you go back to God, and then there are so many times it has been written that people go there, the other side, and then and that being says, hey, you cannot come here, you have not finished your karma, you have to go back. Then you pick out your parents and you come here. But you come with your sanskars. And let me explain. I have two children. My boy is Ajay and Mita. Now both are so different, but born in the same family. They have come in our family with their sanskars, with their past tendencies. Now he, Ajay, now is 22. But ever since he was young, 5 years old, he will sit with an encyclopedia, constantly reading. He's a scholarly type. So I told him, I said, Ajay, you must be a professor in your past life. Because everything he has to do is just proper. Now, my girl, who's younger than Ajay, Mita, always sing. Now she is very intelligent, did well in school and college. Now she is a rock and roll singer. But ever since she was a little girl, she just sings. Now, we don't always sing. My family do not have big singers. But where does this tendency come from? Their sanskars from the past lives come down here. Now suppose if you have 2 children, and the father wants both of them to be baseball player, but one danced all his last lives, he comes back, you make time to make him a baseball player, you will have a mess. That boy, he might learn a little bit baseball, but that is not what he wants. So we have to look into our own children, our own family, and see where they're coming from. And then suppose somebody comes from, you can see their tendencies, their sanskars, and you can say, oh, this girl must be a dancer, or this boy must be a baseball player, or this boy must be a professor, or this girl must be a big actress or something, or they come with their own sanskars. You also should find out, where have you been? Now, that will make you know who you are. And if you want to be happy, you have to realize God. You have to realize who you are. And once you realize, self-realization will lead you to happiness. And life realization. All God and self and life realization be greatly helped if you can accept the karma. Now, if you do not accept the karma, still is fine. There are many ways to live this life. But we feel that if you accept the karma and do your dharma, life becomes happier. Now, we have Shivananda Yoga Center at 2307 Baina Boulevard. We have free Hatha Yoga classes every Sunday 5:30 to 7. Please come, join us. And if you want to put some donation, we will accept that. And then 7:15 in the evening to 9:30, we have a satsang where we have yoga philosophy, chanting, meditation. We teach meditation and pranayama, relaxation, and many topics of importance we discuss. So please look into. Also we have yoga classes which you can join. If you like to know more about it, give us a call. Our phone number is 478-9227, and ask for Bharat, Gajjar, and I'll be very happy to discuss and let you know. If you write to us, we will send you our information. And today's lecture was on karma, reincarnation. Please think about it, and maybe these ideas will help you. We feel that by looking into our life into 3 dimensions, we make our own life better, we can understand ourselves better, and then we can accept the things which looks like not fair. Why bad thing happens to good people? They have no answers. But if you really accept karma, reincarnation philosophy, you can explain why it happens. And karma philosophy has free will. Your action, every action you take, you are responsible, and we are the result of our own actions. So until we meet again, Hari Om Tassat. And please join us. We will be here first and the second Tuesday of every month. So we will see you in next month, January, first Tuesday and the second Tuesday. So thank you for joining us, and hope that you can look into. Maybe you read one or two books on reincarnation, or write to us and we will guide you which some books you can read about it. Hari Om.